Look, you're not addicted to pleasure. You're possessed by the demon of dopamine. Dopamine is a demon. It's not a chemical. It's a demon that's feeding on your future. Every single time that you submit and you obey it by scrolling, by fapping, by binging, by doing something to spike your dopamine levels, to spike this and just get this dopamine demon up, you are essentially destroying your future. And it's happy when you do that. And it will give you more hits. And so this isn't laziness. This is spiritual slavery. That's what dopamine is. It's spiritual slavery, right? And I'll give you a quick story so you understand that I've faced issues with this dopamine demon for a long time, right? Once the phone came out, once I figured out, Instagram, once I started getting on social media, I was consuming. And I would constantly miss my goals. I would constantly be just pushed into a different world of seeing other people, seeing how other people live, getting dopamine hits. The demon was literally feeding me to be able to keep watching other people win, to be distracted by my personal goals, by my personal thing that I want to accomplish. The dopamine demon would consistently mess that up for me. And so every time that I would go through this process, I would always feel like I was drained. Every time I was on my phone, I was looking at somebody else succeeding. I was looking at this motivational reel. There was a time with weed. I was always smoking weed because it gave me this dopamine rush, right? All of these different things would come up and I would always fall short of my goals consistently every single time. And I never understood why. And I didn't take dopamine as a demon. I took it as just part of life. Okay, I have dopamine. I just have to get over this. No, you have to acknowledge what it is, because you see, when you look at demons, when you look at the way that demons operate, right? And I'm not even talking religiously. I'm talking just spiritually in general. They operate, and their best form is when you don't know that they exist, when you don't actually take them as important and you kind of let them sit and you allow for them to permeate and you allow for them to just go beyond what they're capable of doing, because you're not addressing them. You have no awareness within to be able to understand, okay, this is a demon, and now I have to exercise my power as a man or my power as a human being to overcome that thing, right? And so you have to also understand, and this is where everything changed. When I started to realize this, I realized that dopamine was used to reward survival, right? Once was used, like our previous ancestors, that's what it was used for. But now it rewards weakness. Because now we have phones. Now we have all of these different things. We have sugar. We have all of these things that are giving us comfort. And it's literally just inverted it to the point where now it's going to reward every weakness that you take part in. Every time you fap, every time that you get on your phone and you scroll, mindlessly scroll, and you have it literally rewards you for that, which makes you want to do more of it. That's why it's hard for you to get off of just the dopamine life cycle. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And every modern trigger, you look at TikTok, junk food, like I said, porn, same thing. They're offerings to this demon that is literally possessing you. You're giving it an offering every single time that you fucking scroll. Every single time that you see that video that turns you on, that makes you want to beat off. Every single time that you go and you eat the junk food that you know you're not supposed to eat, that's high in sugar, high in trans fat, high in all of these different things that makes you feel good, that's why you feel good, because you're possessed by this demon that needs the offering. So every time you give it the offerings, it feels good inside, right? And so you can't hear your purpose anymore when you're possessed by this dopamine demon. Like, dopamine is literally just blocking the signal that you should be getting from the noise. See, society it's all noise out here, right? Every time you go on your phone, every time you're looking at somebody else winning, every time that you're constantly trying to figure things out, it's all noise, right? And so the more that you have this noise, the more that you can't hear your purpose anymore. You don't necessarily know what you're supposed to do. So what do? You go and you keep working the 9-to-5 job that you hate. You keep doing the things that you don't like. You never go to the gym because there's no purpose, there's no vision, because dopamine blocks that signal that you should be having around the noise and the chaos in your life. And so the demon always whispers every time that you're on your phone, every time that you're on this bullshit. You're always on there. You're like, 5 more minutes. I do it to this day. To this day, it's like 5 more minutes. Martel, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. It literally takes me like an hour to get out the shower because of this shit. Because of my phone, because of scrolling. I struggle with that to this day, and I'm realizing It's possession because I'm not controlling myself anymore. So every time you're on the phone and you hear that whisper, 5 more minutes, Martell, just 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, Billy, 5 more minutes. You've been rewired to fear silence, stillness, and effort. Have you ever noticed anytime you talk to people, they're like, I could not be silent with myself? They literally say, I could not be quiet. I can't stay in silence. Every time you try to sit in silence with somebody, they have to break it because it makes them uncomfortable. You fear it, right? You fear stillness. You feel agitated. You feel like you need to move. That's why meditation is so hard for you. That's why meditation is so hard for a lot of people, because they're possessed by this dopamine demon. So everything that they do has to be related to giving offerings to this dopamine demon. All the effort, you're allergic to effort. And the reason you're allergic to effort is because that is effectively killing the demon. It's literally performing an exorcism on the demon. The more effort that you put in to different things that don't give you immediate gratification, instant gratification, the demon starts to feel weaker. So it has to give you some sort of thing that can distract you so that you can go back to giving it more offerings so it can get stronger and stronger and stronger. So you see, laziness isn't the disease. The disease is possession. That's what it is. It's possession by this demon. And so here's what I'm telling you. If you want to exorcise this demon, if you want to get it out of you, you don't detox, right? Detoxing doesn't fucking work. Dopamine detox this, dopamine detox that. That's a temporary fix to the main problem. It's a spiritual problem. It's a spiritual problem. And you may be reading the Bible and you may be thinking demons are like these horns, these figures with horns that go around. That's a fucking illusion, bro. That's literally an allegory. That's not what demons are. Demons are the negative emotions that are in your life. They're the different people that they can embody to be able to take you off of your path. Dopamine is a demon. All of these things are actual demons. They're real. They're energy. Spirit, everything spiritual is energy. God is energy. Demons are energy. But it depends on what energy you're bringing into your life. And so I think the best tools to be able to get over this type of thing is the gym, of course. Get in shape, go train as hard as you can, because it will force you to eliminate the instant gratification that you're seeking, right? It will be effort. It will allow for you to experience pain, which the dopamine demon hates pain. It dislikes pain. So every time you do something and you punish your body, you are killing off this dopamine demon. Fasting is another good one. If you want to do like extended fast for a period of time, I'm not talking about intermittent fasting because I don't believe in that either. I do fruit until noon. But if you're on a junk food binge and you constantly keep eating, fast, starve the fucking demon. Starve it. Make it want more and force it to literally starve out of your body. Journaling, right? Write down your thoughts. Write down everything that's going on. Write down the journey that you're going through of destroying this dopamine demon. Write everything down. It forces you to focus. It forces you to be still. It forces you to be in a meditative state and not constantly on a phone trying to figure out what the next best reel is that's going to give you that dopamine hit. And finally, silence. Silence is another good tool. Stay completely quiet. Go into a room pitch black for 30 minutes and just stay completely silent. And you'll feel that dopamine demon constantly wanting to be able to unleash itself, making you want to say something, making you want to get on your phone, making you want to get out of the room. Lock yourself in the fucking room for 30 minutes to an hour and just sit there in pure silence. Close the lights, turn off the lights, be in pitch black darkness so that way you don't get distracted. And just analyze and meditate. Look at your thoughts. Look at what's going on. Look at what it's whispering to you. Because remember I told you, your thoughts aren't you. Your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are simply just things that are projected, specific energies that are projected into your mind that you either accept them, you believe them, or you don't. You have to be able to observe your thoughts and observe what's being said to you so that you can understand what's best for you. You see, dopamine, it fears discipline. It fears discipline and discipline that's laced with spiritual fire, which means that you have rituals, right? Not productivity. Fuck productivity hacks. That's nerd shit. We're not doing productivity. We're not hacking our way through life. We're getting baptized in fire and we're coming back a new version of ourselves. That's what we're doing. It's masculine resurrection at its finest, right? So you have to create these rituals, which are these habits that you can start to add. Make sure that you're doing these different tasks, going to the gym, right? Maybe it's taking a cold shower if that's what you really want to do. Great. Do the things that are rituals that will allow for you to kill off this dopamine demon. And you have to think, even at the gym, every rep that you do, this is going to help you get more motivated in the gym, not the fucking reels that you're on. But this thought process, this new way of thinking, you have to understand that every rep is a bullet to the demon's skull. Every single rep that you do, every single point of failure that you hit, that you pass, is a bullet to the demon's skull, like this. Every single time. You have to look at it that way, because that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't look at life from a spiritual lens. They look at life from just, you see things. All this shit is a fucking illusion. All of it. I've said this many times, right? You have to understand that. And so you have to understand at the very end of all of this, you're not weak. You've just been poisoned. You've been poisoned and you've been basically possessed by this dopamine demon. And the warrior is still inside of you, but it's under dopamine, right? And to be able to break that dopamine is bringing that warrior out. And now you feel more masculine. You feel like you have a purpose. You feel like you're doing things. You don't have time to be constantly on your phone scrolling through reels. It's okay to do it every once in a while. I'm not going to say completely just cut off your phone. But also, going off of that point, you should be producing way more than you're consuming, because the more that you produce, the more that you kill off the dopamine demon. The dopamine demon doesn't want you to produce anything. That's its whole purpose, is to keep you from being a production machine. It's there to literally keep you as a consumer so that it's actually consuming you. So what people don't realize with dopamine demons, when you actually consume content online, you think you're consuming the content, but the content is consuming you. It's consuming your energy. It's consuming your attention, right? That's why I create long form videos, because long form videos kill dopamine. My videos are exorcisms for dopamine, because you have to sit here and watch me for over 15 minutes and talk and hear me talk and actually pay attention to what I'm saying. And I'm not talking about shallow topics. I'm talking about deeper topics. So that's what you have to understand about this dopamine demon. And you have to burn the comfort and you have to kill the craving. That's very, very important. A lot of people, they allow for the cravings to take over them, and they feed the cravings. They feed the comfort that they want. You have to burn all of that shit. You have to kill it all off. You burn the boy, you exorcise the demon, and you resurrect the man. That is the answer. All right. So if this hit, I want you to subscribe, right? And obviously, this is not just content. I want to say this to you guys, because I think it's very important for you to understand. I'm not here to just give you content. I'm here for resurrection. I'm here to resurrect men to become the best version of themselves. That's it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm going deeper into topics now. That's why I'm giving you these analogies that make a lot more sense than the bullshit that you're seeing right now, the slop that you're seeing right now. This is the real shit. All right. So you have to understand that. And also, link will be in the description if you're interested in joining my free Telegram. That's basically where it's a dopamine free zone, right? It's all stuff that's going to help you become the best version of yourself for free. It's there as well. And obviously, if you want to go deeper into the rabbit hole and you want to become a multidimensional man, you want to be able to nail financial, physical, mental, spiritual, as well as social, and you want to be a social animal, you want to be charismatic, you want to do all that, join Multidimensional Academy. It is single-handedly the best thing possible right now for men who want it all, men who want to be undeniable, not men who just want to be good at one thing, because all these other guys are teaching you one thing. I want to teach you everything from the lens that I use, all of the things that I've done, all of the missteps that I've had in each one of these different dimensions. You can skip those and you can be a well-rounded man and dominate this life. All right. So I want you to get into war with me. Right. I want you to have the silence, and I want you to have the fire inside so that we can destroy the problem of society, which is, it's a spiritual war, fellas. I'm telling you right now, dopamine is just one of those demons. We'll talk about other ones, but dopamine is one of those demons. So I appreciate you, bro. And I'm going to catch you on the next video.